Her and her sister had already spent the week up here together. Because I have a 4-year-old. She was up here with Keimani for a whole week before that. My daughter's dad got permission from my mother to bring Keimani to me on Saturday the 15th. That had nothing to do with no birthdays. I don't know where people keep getting that from, but that's not what I said. She came up to see me because, again, I'm paying child support. I still have my parental rights. So that was my visit.
Keimani's mother told the court,
The last time that I was permitted to see my child was her 11th birthday. I would say that based off of the interactions that I've had with my daughter and the conversations that we had, I do believe we were close.
I went through some really serious trauma back in 2018. And as a result of that, I lost like 3 years worth of my memory, which includes up to 2021, shortly after I had my daughter.
No, that's crazy as fuck.
You did that to your own grandbaby. Nigga, you told me I was supposed to be aborted and that you gave me life anyway, so I wanted to do something for you. I let you see your first grandchild come into this world, and this is what you do to her?
For all of the people that have continued to show me love and support, I appreciate you. I will forever be grateful for everything you've done for me. You guys have helped pull me out of my shell. And I feel like I'm better for it. I want to tell y'all, I love y'all. If you guys want to continue following me, my name is the T-H-E-E Jeannie LaRue, TheGenielaroux on all platforms, including Red Note. You guys can find me on all platforms at the Jeannie LaRue. I did say that I wanted to start doing mental health consults, mental health advocacies. If anyone is in need of that, or is just in need of someone to talk to and you need someone to vent to, I will give y'all my personal number, which is 440-97. I'm not holding nothing back. I love y'all. I'm appreciative of y'all. If TikTok goes down, it will really break my heart. But I'm glad I got to know you all. Thank you. Thank you for everything. I love you.
The internet has a lot of questions surrounding a biological mom, beginning with why did she wait to change her social media handles to Keimani's mom after the death of her child? And also, why haven't she posted Keimani on any of her social media platforms after this tragic event? And also, since she's a mother of 4, where are her other 2 children? Because she only seen with the youngest. And lastly, why didn't she put that energy in getting Keimani back that she put in TikTok? We caught you in 4K living your best life, breaking down, crying when you thought the app was about to make a departure. But when it came to Keimani, we are yet to see you shed a tear. I've been following this Keimani Latigue case since it first broke. And I came to the conclusion that the biological mother, Tiara, having been transparent and truthful with us from the beginning. How do I know this? Well, we retrieved her court records. In fact, and I must say, there's some things in there that's mighty disturbing. It's probably the reason she wasn't allowed to leave the hospital with Keimani in the first place. And we also got some intel on the Granny Dorothy, and we definitely go get into all that. But first, I need you to hit the like button to help with the algorithm. Help me get this out there to spread awareness. And if you ain't subscribed to the channel, it's a good time to do it now. I appreciate y'all, and let's jump right into it. It seems the community of Toledo has switched up on Tiara and continuously calling her out after her recent interview, where she was reaching out for personal sympathy, for some to believe possibly in the form of monetary value. In this interview, she could be found dropping and pinning her Cash App throughout the chat and continuously urging the viewers to donate to a nonprofit that she's assembling in the name of Keimani Latigue. Yeah, segueing into another GoFundMe campaign she created, while simultaneously telling the audience that she was set to appear in probate court to fight and take control of Keimani's estate. At the same time, acknowledging that she's unaware of how much a lawyer actually costs.
One last thing, as of now, give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why she said a cold one like it was beer. It's fucking... She had to get sweet tea talking about some, you want a cold one? But so as of now, there are no GoFundMes that are going to anything having to do with Keimani. So any GoFundMes that you guys see, if it is not by Catherine Moore, please do not donate. As far as donations to funeral homes, please do not do that. We are not at that stage yet. I will definitely keep in touch, and I will definitely keep you guys up to date on what's going on. My Cash App is open. As I said before, I am trying to get a lawyer so that I can give my daughter a proper send-off. I'm due to be in probate court on the 8th. So anyone that wants to help with that, I will give Black my Cash App for that so that I can pay a lawyer. But outside of that, I'm not asking for anything else at this time. I will eventually, once the dust has settled, I will be putting up a GoFundMe or a crowd share or something, so that we can get up the money and the resources that we need in order to make sure that the Keimani Foundation, the Keimani Effect, and Keimani's Law is put into place. But until then, we are not accepting funds in any way, form, or fashion for Keimani. So I just wanted to ask you, Mr. Black, is it okay if because like I said, I am trying to get some funding. I don't know how much a lawyer is going to cost for probate court. I'm not going to put out any specific number because I don't know how much a lawyer generally costs.
Bruh, oh, chill out. She trying to finesse. Wait, what? And that's almighty suspicious right there. How are you not going to know how much it is to obtain counsel to a hearing you are set to appear in a couple days? On top of that, you told us you done completed 4 years in law school, so make it make sense. Something ain't adding up here.
I have some experience, but I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to law. I did 4 years of pre-law, but if you don't finish those last 8 years, it's a lot of information and a lot of insight that you do miss. But is it okay if I put my Cash App in there? And is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I am going to set up a P.O. box, because I've seen that it's a lot of people that want to do things for Keimani or want to send things in honor of Keimani. When I'm going to set up a P.O. box this week so that people can send things for her or for the family. Is it okay once I have that set up if I reach out to you for you to share that?
Yes, ma'am. It is perfectly fine. I want to make sure I play a part in helping with Keimani.
Okay, yeah, because I know they were saying, someone had okay, so it's not letting me okay, here it goes. So I'm going to
you can type it in the chat if you can.
Yeah, it wasn't letting me at first. So this is my Cash App. It is under Honey Kisses. It has her picture on there. The same photo that you guys see right now is on the Cash App. I tried to change the name so that you guys would know that it was me, but it won't let me. The Cash App should be in the in the comments or whatever. I'm not sure.
All right, that's the back chat. I'm gonna put it in there. That's in our behind the scenes chat. It is right here.
Black, can I say this?
But so if you want to post that, Black, you can. And then once I get the P.O. box set up, I'll send it directly to you, Mr. Black, and we can go from there. I know the LA Lakers were trying to make a jersey in her honor. I know there was Dewey Lights had named a star in her honor, and I know there's different things that come with that, but at least then anyone that wants to do something in my daughter's honor will have a safe place to send it. Okay. So just to clarify, because I do want very clear, I want this to come across as a very clear message. There are no GoFundMes. If the GoFundMe does not, if the publisher of the GoFundMe is not Katrina Moore, it's not going to my family. It's not going to help my daughter. So as of right now, because I'm not aware of the GoFundMes out there, I'm going to say there is not one. There is no GoFundMe.
Say what? Wait, that ain't what they saying. But that's not true at all, because Keimani Latigue Justice Truth and Fact page on Facebook made a post to spread awareness that Tiara got 2 GoFundMes created, one for $100,000 and the other for $7,500. So naturally, the people felt scammed and betrayed. That's when a Facebook user with the handle of Moody came forward and stated that Tiara is her sister and they currently stand together in the same house. And she also confirmed that Tiara did in fact had 2 GoFundMes created. She stated that the GoFundMe for $100,000 was to sue the Toledo Police Department, along with the Children's Service Board, CSB, while the other GoFundMe for $75,000 was going to be used for burial expenses, allegedly. And Moody would later delete her comments from the thread, but not without tagging Tiara first under her Facebook, Bella D. Latigue. But unfortunately, Tiara would leave her hanging and never respond. But Tiara, try again, because we read that book before you wrote it. And this Moody character just ain't no random person in your life, because we got both of y'all rocking out together on camera. She got the same face tats and everything. And I don't believe she got no reason to lie on you when she in the comment section going to war for you and holding you down. Meanwhile, you trying to confuse the world to believe that you don't even know this girl. That's nasty work. However, Moody would quickly jump into the comments of the Keimani Latigue Justice page on Facebook to set the record straight that they were authorized by Tiara to start the 2 GoFundMe pages. So Moody responded by saying, I am Keimani's aunt, and that's all that matters. You are posting a GoFundMe that I created and making up lies behind it. You got my adopted mother name all over this post because she the one that made the $50 donation. And you think you somebody because you're using my niece name for clout and gain followers? The Keimani Justice page responded by saying, further, if you are the creator of this $100,000 GoFundMe page, you created a GoFundMe naming an individual as a murderer who hasn't been charged for murder and falsely presented it Tiara Caston as your sister. Moody, Dorothy is a suspect, and the only reason she is because she will not make it to court safely with the jail being overpopulated and understaffed. Whatever that means. If y'all happen to know, drop it below. Moody, Tiara is my sister. How would you say she isn't my sister? Because she surely is. You done lost your marbles. It was made by me, and Tiara is the beneficiary, so move around. And one confused Facebook user chimed in and said, Tiara has said 1,000,000 times she don't want any GoFundMes or any money. She doesn't want shit but justice for her daughter. So Moody didn't really take a liking to that comment, and she said, how are you telling me what Tiara want when me and Tiara reside together? And I was asked to make the GoFundMe for legal expenses, and the other one is fake. Go on, inbox her and ask her. As for you stating what you think you know, I'm laughing it off because none of this is a joke nor a game. And anyone attempting to partake in defamating me will have to seek legal counsel. So block me, I got everything screenshotted. And then Moody would go on a rant telling the girl to drop her location along with leaving her address and said she could be found in Bronx, New York. So if her and Tiara staying together, that means Tiara in the Bronx too, right? Not Cleveland, Ohio. So that's when she tagged Tiara and said Bella Latigue, not this mongrel trying to defame me with lies and getting cute like she can't be fixed. So then the Facebook user tagged Moody and say, wait a minute, hold on, let me make this clear. So you stand with Tiara and she had you make a GoFundMe page? But meanwhile, she on multiple interviews saying no GoFundMes and donations? So I'm confused. Are you saying Tiara is lying? So Moody expressed again that Tiara asked her to set up the GoFundMe for legal fees to fight Dorothy in probate court because she told her that the attorney fees was high. Moody also tagged the other girl responsible for the other GoFundMe and said, so you ain't saying nothing, Cadence Perry? Is my GoFundMe fake or not? And wasn't I asked to make this? However, she will be left to fend for herself in the comment section because nobody she tagged came to her rescue.
We got her. We got me and my foster sister, the one whose house I'm at now, got her paid.
The The city was appalled to believe that this mother would go on their local news station and state that she wasn't looking to profit and stated that she only wanted justice, only to turn around and take to the internet to pander in great proportions. In the next clip, Tiara could be heard alluding to the audience the notion that the only way that this funeral would ever take place is if she received some funding for various projects. However, the city of Toledo says otherwise. In fact, they raised over $6K before Keimani was switched between the 3 funeral homes. Not to mention countless organizations locally that held various fundraisers on the strength of Keimani having a nice home going.
Thanks. We're learning that the Brown Legacy Memorial Funeral Home will no longer be holding the services for the 13-year-old girl. Brown Legacy announcing Saturday morning that the process to transfer funeral responsibilities is now underway. Plus, donations made throughout the week will be transferred to the next funeral home. The announcement didn't say which place will be handling the services. Brown Legacy saying Friday that the community had donated so far around $6,000 to support private and public services. Local businesses are set to host an event Sunday to raise money to properly honor Keimani and celebrate her life. Wheelin' on the Rocks on Lasky Road hosting a benefit and poker run from 2:30 to 10 p.m. tomorrow. The main event will be at Wheelin'. Other businesses also participating, including Kickstand Saloon, Daffy's, and Corner Saloon. More details on 13abc.com.
It's a message of the community turning together in time for Keimani Latigue's birthday weekend. She would have been 14 years old, but she will never be able to celebrate because in the past week, her father was suspected of killing her and dumping her body in a blighted home on Miami Street in East Toledo. Community members, hurt and moved by her story, have been gathering at the home to leave balloons and well wishes. On top of mind for many are the funeral details for Keimani, with many people donating money to help with her funeral costs. With the news that Brown Legacy Memorial wouldn't be handling funeral arrangements for Keimani Latigue, WTOL 11 viewers have some questions about what's next. So where are the remains? John Castillo, the owner of Castillo Funeral Home, says Keimani is no longer at his funeral home. He says earlier Saturday, the remains were transferred to Dale Riggs Funeral Home on Nebraska Avenue in central Toledo. What happens to the $6,000? Brown Legacy Memorial says these contributions will be given, quote, directly to the new funeral home to ensure that Keimani's services are carried out with the care and respect she deserves, unquote. Dale Riggs did not respond to our request for comment. We also reached out to Richard Brown, who also did not respond to our request for comment.
As of right now, as far as her funeral procession is concerned, I am going to probate court to secure control of my daughter's estate. That will be on the 8th. On the 8th of this month in Toledo.
On the 8th. Okay.
But until this case has made it outside of probate court, there are no funeral arrangements. We are not at that stage yet. I will definitely keep in touch, and I will definitely keep you guys up to date on what's going on. My Cash App is open. As I said before, I am trying to get a lawyer so that I can give my daughter a proper send-off. I'm due to be in probate court on the 8th. So anyone that wants to help with that, I will give Black my Cash App for that so that I can pay a lawyer. But outside of that, I'm not asking for anything else at this time. I will eventually, once the dust has settled, I will be putting up a GoFundMe or a crowd share or something so that we can get up the money and the resources that we need in order to make sure that the Keimani Foundation, the Keimani Effect, and Keimani's Law is put into place. But until then, we are not accepting funds in any way, form, or fashion for Keimani.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask you, Mr. Black, is it okay if because like I said, I am trying to get some funding. I don't know how much a lawyer is going to cost for probate court. I'm not going to put out any specific number because I don't know how much a lawyer generally costs. But is it okay if I put my Cash App in there? And is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I am going to set up a P.O. box.
You can't make this shit up. Tiara's sudden reappearance in Keimani's life seemed more like a calculated move than an act of love. She haven't been there for Keimani since birth, or haven't seen her physically since she was 11 years old. But yet and still, she was trying to seize control of her estate and open up GoFundMes, even when the funeral arrangements was already taken care of. This wasn't the story of a grieving mother. It was the tale of someone trying to rewrite their role in history. But the truth, it's undeniable. And real heroes ain't made in moments of convenience. They are shaped through years of unwavering presence and love. In fact, the world through Keimani's eyes showed her absolutely no love. But Keimani's legacy isn't tied to Tiara's schemes or any of these people, places, and things that failed her in the past. It's defined by the people who truly stood by her and honored her life with authenticity and care. Initially from the jump, Tiara's whole rant was based on the possibility of her not being invited to the service, based on the narratives that she was creating of her mother Dorothy online. So she must have figured that she wasn't getting the invite. Then she took to all these platforms to spread misinformation. When the probate hearing was finally held, Tiara's actions spoke volumes. She didn't even have the decency to return to Toledo to walk into the courtroom and look the judge directly in the eyes as she pled her case. Instead, she hid behind the screen, attending the hearing via Zoom with no attorney present. It was a stark contrast to the seriousness of the matter at hand, a final testament of her lack of accountability. While those who truly cared about Keimani showed up and stood firm outside the courthouse. Tiara's absence in that courtroom mirrored her absence in Keimani's life. Actions like these reveal the truth. It's not about claiming to be there when it's convenient. It's about showing up when it matters the most.
Puffenberger made it clear why Keimani's mother and grandmother were in court. Keimani's mother, Tiara Caston, appeared virtually.
There seems to be some disagreement between next of kin on how the disposition of the deceased remains.
Her grandmother, Dorothy Latigue, filed this paperwork in probate court on Friday, asking the judge to hear the case. The grandmother said her only desire is to dispose of Keimani's remains respectfully, but they can't bury the child because she and her mother are fighting over who has the right to plan the funeral.
To my understanding, we had a disagreement only because she felt like she wasn't invited to the ceremony, only because we have not kept in contact since the situation arose.
Police say Keimani Latigue was murdered at the hands of her father, Darnell Jones. Her body found in this abandoned home. The community outraged. Her body moved from funeral home to funeral home. Judge Puffenberger saying this has gone on too long. He based his decision off of how close the women were to Keimani and their plans for the funeral.
She's not just been in my house for the past 5.5 years. When she was with the prior custodian, we still kept contact to the point where Keimani was still coming back and forth to my home.
Keimani's mother told the court,
The last time that I was permitted to see my child was her 11th birthday. I would say that based off of the interactions that I've had with my daughter and the conversations that we had, I do believe we were close.
Ms. Latigue, I assume your daughter would be invited to the private family funeral.
And of course,
You would not try to exclude her.
no.
he asked how the grandmother would pay for the funeral.
Was there some community money donated for a funeral?
There were several organizations that are providing their services. So to date, again, everything is paid for.
The judge ruled in the grandmother's favor.
What I had planned was a private ceremony so that the family could attend, and we have a open casket funeral, and then there was a public ceremony also planned for the community.
And Keimani's grandmother told the judge that she would like to have Keimani's funeral this week.
Now, I know I can't be the only person that heard Tiara say that the killer, Darnell Jones, drove Keimani out of state to see her recently before this incident took place. Who else did it catch off guard to hear her tell the judge that she haven't seen Keimani since her 11th birthday? I'm beginning to believe that she possibly mentally unstable. I never understood why she was being depicted as the hero when in fact she was the first to fail Keimani. Ladies, be honest. And ain't nobody just taking your newborn baby straight out the hospital after you done given birth, unless they got concrete proof that you an unfit mother. Now, in order for me to illustrate this the best way that I can, I have to take you down the timeline of when Tiara first started getting wild, according to the Toledo Police Department. All this is public record, by the way. On June 6, 2009, Tiara Caston was found guilty of assault, knowing attempt to cause physical harm to another or another's unborn. Unborn though? Not physical harm to an unborn, which was amended from felonious assault, where the victim was seriously harmed. On this same day, Tiara was also charged with resisting arrest and obstruction of official business. So Tiara was found indigent, requested a public defender, and bond was set at $25K. So on June the 15th, 2009, Tiara took the deal that was recommended by the prosecutor, which was assault, knowingly attempt or cause physical harm to another or another's unborn, which is actually a lesser charge than a felonious assault where the victim was seriously harmed, which she was initially charged with. That felonious assault would have landed her in prison. So Tiara pled no contest and was found guilty and was sentenced to 6 months in CCNO with 6 months suspended. Tiara was placed on active probation for a year, beginning 6/15/2009 with the end date of 6/15/2010. And get this, her probation conditions were her to take a mental health assessment, follow any recommendations, have no further offenses, and medication compliance was mandatory. So I believe from reading that, she probably possibly had something mentally going on and, had to stay on her meds. And if she get off, you know how people is when they off their meds, they, kind of unstable. But however, 3 months later, on September the 12th, 2009, Tiara will be charged with petty theft, disorderly conduct, and false information while still on active probation. Now, the complaint states that Tiara was detained by Rite Aid security for stealing a mop and a broom and 2 packs of beer, total value of $58.46. While arrested at Rite Aid, she told the security guard and Toledo police that her name was Michelle Bates, so she was charged with false information. Her false information charge was dropped down to a disorderly conduct. She was found guilty for that charge and sentenced to 30 days in CCNO with 30 days suspended. Now, initially in this petty theft charge, she pled not guilty, but she withdrew her plea from not guilty to no contest. Now, for this charge, she was sentenced to 6 months in CCNO with 6 months suspended and was placed on active probation again for a year beginning 10/6/2009, end date 10/16/2010. So as you can see with this pattern, they was giving her chance time after time. But apparently she wasn't compliant to the conditions, leading up to July the 19th, 2011, where she was called in for a probation violation hearing. And a month later, on August the 31st, 2011, her probation was terminated unsuccessfully. At this time, Keimani is 5 months old, so keep that in mind. And with all these second chances, you would have thought that Tiara would have learned their lesson. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Less than a month later, on September the 30th, 2011, 6 months after the birth of Keimani, Tiara was charged with menacing at the Toledo Lucas County Main Library, where she stated to the security guard that she was gonna beat his white, ugly ass. So right away after reading that complaint, I knew she had something going on upstairs, giving signs of mental health issues. However, this time, she would spend some time behind bars. Fast forward 6 months later, on March the 8th, 2012, Keimani about to turn a year old in less than 3 weeks, and Tiara double back and catch another case at that same library. And this time it's criminal trespassing because Tiara was banned from all Lucas County public libraries, and this was her second time coming back while she was banned. At this point on the complaint, under the address, she was classified as homeless. This time when she was released, she would skip court and go on the run for 6 months until she was picked up on August the 2nd, 2012. But for some reason, she was released and supposed to appear back in court in 2 weeks on August the 18th, 2012, but she would fail to appear, so they issued out another warrant for Tiara. 4 months later, on December the 17th, 2012, while on the run, Tiara would catch a robbery charge 3 months before Keimani's 3rd birthday, where Tiara was with 3 to 4 males who jumped the victim, beating him in his head. As this was happening, she was stealing his credit cards out of his pocket. Her bond was set at $50K. Her bond was set at $50K, followed by an indictment. Rest up, Keimani gone but not forgotten. Today, her walk-through memorial will take place. It's from 4 to 7, and the public is welcome to attend. So I just know the city of Toledo will be in attendance to pay their last respects. Darnell Jones is out the hospital and currently incarcerated in Columbus, Ohio, wheelchair bound. However, he still has to pay his sins for what he did in Toledo. All we can do is pray for Tiara, and I truly hope she get the help that she needs. Although I know she had a rough upbringing, but now it's time to break cycles because kids don't ask to be brought in this world. Don't forget to hit the like button, dislike button, however you feel, but hit the notification bell to stay updated. And I'll catch you in the next one up top. Integrity TV, I'm out.